Department of Inland Trade Services of the Nigerian Shippers Council hosted a workshop in Kaduna, the capital of Kaduna State, for shippers on the Kaduna Inland Dry Port, the only one that is currently operational in Nigeria. The well-attended event attracted shippers from the northern axis of the country. Our crew was there live. Also on today's program, the usual tidbits on maritime from Nigeria and other parts of the world. Welcome to The Shipper. My name is Rekia Zikru Yagoyaju. We'll take a short break now. Stay with us.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem where shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
For you, we dey gidigba, hey.
Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nanir.
Welcome back. While efforts are on to ensure that other inland dry ports become operational as soon as practicable, Kaduna Inland Dry Port is the testing ground where shippers and the Nigerian Shippers Council are focusing their attention to tweak whatever needs to be tweaked at the upcoming inland dry ports in other parts of the country. The shippers crew sounded some participants at the workshop out.
I realized that the people in the northern part of Nigeria really do not have business going to Lagos to transact how their imported goods should be cleared. The solution have been brought to their backyard. To the little lectures I listened. Decentralization is good and it shouldn't stop now. It should continue because changes to a human being is not an easy thing. For people to change, but the change is a benefit to them. When they start taking advantage of what the government are brought to their backyard, they will realize that it will help them to save more, save their time, and make their business more efficient.
We're hoping to start exporting our goods to other countries. So I think this sensitization program helps us in knowing that we don't have to suffer and go to Lagos to send our goods. Right from Kaduna here, we can package our goods and ship it out.
Although the inland dry ports are entirely private sector driven, Nigerian Shippers Council is on hand to ensure that everything goes smoothly. Lucy Olugbe now serves up details of the workshop that took place in Kaduna.
For much of its existence since gaining independence from Britain, Nigeria has contended with a mono economy, largely dependent on its crude oil for foreign exchange reserve and earnings. With an expanding population of over 200 million with dipping earnings, the demand for goods has maintained a rising curve, mounting pressure on the naira, thereby leading to inflation. Successive governments have made frantic efforts to diversify the economy by tackling the many challenges ranging from, just to name a few, an undeveloped agricultural sector, weak industrial and manufacturing base, infrastructural deficits, and inadequate educational curriculum to address the economic challenges and unemployment. Since the idea of creating inland dry ports was conceived in 2006, stakeholders have been exploring prospects and debating the challenges with the ultimate aim of ensuring the delivery of vibrant and seamless operations of inland dry ports. Nigerian Shippers Council's quest to decongest the nation's seaports, particularly the ones in Lagos, and bring port services closer to the shippers, is a task to which relentless effort must be applied. The establishment of inland dry ports by government is to facilitate trade and economic activities. It was in furtherance of these objectives that the Nigerian Shippers Council, working with the Institute of Transport Technology, Zaria, and concessionaire of the Kaduna Inland Dry Port, put together a workshop to sensitize stakeholders on the workings and benefits of the project.
The reason why there are impediments is because there is lack of understanding of the project. Every ICD in the world is a hotspot of activity. You do not cite an ICD without research. You first of all research the ICD and you identify the location based on the Global Trade Analysis Project, GTPAC. And the GTAP is a benchmark that enables you to identify certain locations as consumer locations, as manufacturing locations, as economic clusters. Every maritime economic zone in Nigeria falls within a cluster that should be covered. And that is why we have 6 ICDs spread geopolitically. It has nothing to do with politics. It's pure economics. You go to only those places that you know cargo will be generated and it will be exported from. So you create a facility for that project. If you look at all the ICDs, some are of small capacity. They are the container freight stations. They are supposed to serve as feeders to the ICDs or to the dry ports. Now, a dry port makes trade easier for the trader. It makes trade easier for government. In Nigeria, we have captive consumers. We have Niger, Chad, Northern Cameroon. Especially for Northern Nigeria, we are blessed to have all these countries that could easily use our corridors. But if the corridors are not favorable, then they can't use them. They would rather opt for longer distances, which is more expensive for them, because all they want to do is to get their goods to the market at an affordable price so that they can be competitive in the market. And every time I speak about inland facilities or transit facilities, I emphasize on efficiency, reliability, predictability, and affordability. Those are the 4 factors that you are looking at. So if those are not there, and there are other institutional impediments, then it becomes difficult for the ICD to function, or it will be functioning at a lower level.
6 locations, namely Erumu in Oyo State, Haipang in Plateau State, Zawachiki in Kano State, Zamfarawa in Katsina State, Jauri in Borno State, and Isialangwa in Abia State got government's approval for the establishment of inland dry ports. They are known as legacy projects. They are public-private partnership projects aimed at decongesting the seaports. An inland dry port is the equivalent of a seaport with all loading and offloading equipment to handle cargoes. This workshop was organized by the Nigerian Shippers Council, the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology, and concessionaire of Kaduna Inland Dry Port. The focus was to help stakeholders understand the need to harness the potential of Kaduna Inland Dry Port for optimal productivity. It was an interactive forum which exposed participants to the roles of government and stakeholders in the operations of an inland dry port in a large economy like Nigeria's. Mrs. Dabrin Shah-Holma, who moderated the technical session, set the tone for discussion when she sensitized the gathering on the role of the Nigerian Shippers Council in the development of the inland dry ports in the country.
The Kaduna ICD is strategically located. It has a lot of potential. In fact, I can tell you endless possibilities. It just needs to be harnessed. We need the traffic to be scaled up. We also need proper engagement with government, political institutions, regulatory institutions, so that everybody understands that we are not doing this only for the monetary value, but we are doing this to open up the economy and create jobs for our teeming youths.
The port manager, Kaduna Inland Dry Port, Rotimi Raimi Hassan, provided insights into the prospects and challenges of Kaduna Inland Dry Port, the operator's perspective.
We still need to enhance that publicity, and based on the federal government's diversification policy, we are doing this to encourage the exporters, because we believe that we should not live on oil alone. And when you look at export product, it's basically within the north here. And what we need to do, so that the platform is there in Kaduna, there is need for us to communicate this to the exporter by sensitizing them through this kind of workshop. And I believe today, I'm very, very happy that at least we have been able to impart this information to them, the process and procedure, even particularly for those who are prospective exporter and importer.
All inland dry ports, to start with the Kaduna Inland Dry Port that has started operation, have teething and some few problems that need to be resolved or solved by government and other agencies that are involved.
Participants also examined how to promote exports from the Kaduna Inland Dry Ports as the key to Nigeria's diversification drive.
There are some teething challenges that we are trying to work around to make this facility function as a port of origin and destination. So we are trying to highlight those problems and see the way we can tackle those problems for there to be efficiency and for this facility to work and work well. Number two, we are also trying to create awareness. I was discussing with a colleague in Abuja, and she said most of the shippers in Abuja and the environs don't know about the existence of this facility. So it is for us to seriously create awareness such that the northern shippers and the hinterland shippers will begin to patronize this facility, which offers a lot of benefits to them.
There were reactions to the paper presentations.
The Shippers Council has actually been trying. I remember the last years put every effort, because you cannot establish a dry port without a rail. Once you establish any dry port all over the world without a rail, it makes it to be inefficient and it makes it to be costly.
From what they're saying, especially if you are into export, basically, what takes chunk of your finances is the local logistics. And now that the Kaduna Inland Dry Port is trying to bring in the rail services, there's an added advantage to the exporters. From all indices that the general manager is giving us is something very encouraging. And in our next export process, we intend to use the Kaduna Dry Port.
Kaduna Inland Dry Port is a subsidiary of Inland Containers Nigeria Limited, ICNL.
We thank the federal government that have already allocated, giving us a pre-shipment agent, angler. They're already on ground. And all the trade facilitators, NAFDAC, SON, Custom, they're all on ground in Kaduna to facilitate trade. So we tend to look at how we can increase our export and especially the agricultural sector. And you know the issue of economics, simple economics, balance of trade. We tend the more you export, you have a favorable balance of trade.
The facility was upgraded and granted approval by the federal government in 2015 and commissioned by the President Muhammad Buhari in 2018.
It's now time to join Oluwasegun Aloko for Tidbits.
Welcome to the Tidbits segment of the foremost maritime program on television, The Shipper. I am Oluwasegun Aloko. The Nigerian Shippers Council Director for the Southwest Zone, Glory Onojedo, said that the Ibadan Inland Dry Port access routes cannot experience gridlock, as is currently the case in Lagos. He made the declaration while inspecting the site of the Ibadan Inland Dry Port with officials of the Oyo State Ministry of Public Works and Transport, led by Mr. Seyi Adeleye, the Special Advisor to Governor Seyi Makinde on Works and Infrastructure. Mr. Onojedo said 3 access roads are planned to link the dry port to some existing roads that will be upgraded and reconstructed. Speaking on the same subject at a workshop with the theme, Accessibility and Connectivity of Dry Port in Enhancing Port Efficiency in Nigeria, Mr. Onojedo said further steps have been taken to ensure that trucks without legitimate business around the port area do not have access to the Olorisha Oko axis. Responding to concerns by stakeholders on the possibility of the proposed industrial park constituting a source of gridlock, Mr. Onojedo said the industrial park will be adequately served by truck holding bays and marshalling yards. Next is news on shipping across the globe. So you know, port congestion, excessive charges, demurrage, etc. are not Nigerian passport holders. They are free citizens, and I'll tell you why I say so. The Joe Biden-led U.S. administration has shown support to U.S. shippers by approving and signing an executive order against excessive and unjust detention and demurrage charges by shipping companies when port congestion or other factors prevent them from picking up cargo and returning containers. To this end, the executive order encourages the Federal Maritime Commission to ensure vigorous enforcement against shipping companies charging American importers and exporters exorbitantly, and to consider further rulemaking to improve detention and demurrage practices and enforcement of related Shipping Act prohibitions. U.S.-owned and operated company Crowley Maritime Corporation will build and operate Wolf, the first all-electric powered harbor tugboat that can complete a job without a drop of fossil fuel. The 82-foot vessel with 70 tons of bollard pull advances Crowley and the maritime industry's effort towards sustainability and decarbonization. The electric tug will replace one that consumes more than 30,000 gallons of diesel per year and reduce substantially particulate matter, nitrogen oxide, and carbon oxide emission. The e-tug will operate at the port of San Diego's 10th Avenue Marine Terminal and will be operational by mid-2023. Now, this is an amazing one. Singapore tops the Xinhua Boutique International Shipping Center Development Index for the 8th year, followed by London, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Dubai, all in the same positions they were in the previous year. The index is strongly weighted towards shipping services, which form a 50% of the index weighting, while ports contribute a further 30%. The index covers for 3 shipping centers, and the only change in the top 10 over 2020 was Ningbo, China, in the top 10 for the first time, replacing the Japanese capital, Tokyo, in the 10th spot. Wow! Ningbo, China really outdid itself in this one. Straight away to our complaints register for the week. A total number of 8 complaints were received, and they are all ongoing investigations. Some of these complaints include container transfer delay, delayed debit notes, arbitrary charges, and container deposit refund. Never forget that the Nigerian Shippers Council has an accessible and modern dispute resolution mechanism that all shippers in the maritime industry can take advantage of. Here is a letter from Soapy Divine Global Ventures, appreciating the council for intervening in the delay of transfer of its consignment. We, the above company, wish to appreciate you so much for your efforts in resolving the issue we had with Costco Shipping Company and Denka Bonded Terminal. However, we are about taking delivery of the consignment. We are given a special invoice in which there were no handling and demurrage charges. And here is a reminder to all regulated service providers, such as terminal operators, barge operators, shipping companies, freight forwarders, and clearing agents, amongst others, to register with the council. Failure to do so will attract penalties. Registration can be done online via the website www.shipperstradedata.gov.ng. And that's it on Tidbits for this week.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency, and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
that's how we wrap it up on The Shipper today. This program is brought to you by the Port Economic Regulator, Nigerian Shippers Council. Do remember to register as a regulated service provider at www.shipperstradedata.gov.ng. Thanks for watching and have a great shipping week ahead. Goodbye.